Guys, so today I'm going to be reviewing the courses done at University of Zimbabwe for mechanical engineering. So for this whole video series, there are going to be 4 videos, and in this part 1, we are only going to be focusing on part 1 courses, right? So currently uses the modular learning system, whereby you learn each module for a month and write the exams. When I did my part 1, we did the modules across the 3 months, then wrote exams at the end. So to begin with, we have engineering mechanics. From your A-level physics, I'm sure you still remember forces, force to mass times acceleration, friction on inclined planes. Yeah, so you do that stuff in engineering mechanics. However, this is where you'll be introduced to new terms such as torsion, etc., etc. So it's quite an interesting module. Moving on to my favorite module, computer science for engineers. So prior to enrolling at University of Zimbabwe, during the long holiday, I was doing Python. So luckily, it's the programming language which is offered for part one. I do not know if they've changed it yet, but prepare to do some Python. The only drawback is that for the exam, you won't be coding, you will be writing on paper. Quite a bummer, right? Yeah, I've been there too. Moving on, we have this module called Student Development and Life Skills. So this module teaches you how to develop your soft skills, communication, how to navigate the workplaces, something like that. It was quite a helpful module and an interesting one. On the next list, we have information and digital skills. So for this module, you learn the basics of computer skills. You learn mainly how to do academic writing. You learn how to do simple word documents, etc. Moving on, engineering mathematics. Engineering mathematics 1 is quite easy, but be careful. Engineering mathematics 2 is a monster. I don't want to lie, guys. Engineering mathematics 2 is a monster. But for engineering mathematics 1, it's quite cool. Uh, you meet the topics you are familiar with. So, the differentiation, integration, just simple stuffs. Okay. Moving on, we have Zimbabwe studies, strategic study. Let me move on. Zimbabwe strategic studies for engineering and the built environment. So, in this module, you learn history, practically history. And I remember for the introduction of this course, one of the questions would be, why do you think you should study this course? And I always liked the answer of promoting patriotism in students, right? So remember this answer because you might write it in the exam. So that's what you'll be writing about history for Zimbabwe, including what was this? Land reform program. Yeah. It's quite an interesting course, but quite boring for someone who's expecting the engineering stuff. Then moving on to workshop practice. So for workshop practice, it's usually done in the second semester. So workshop practice, you actually go to the workshop, you learn about the different machining processes, you learn the lathe machines, and currently they use it. They now have a CNC machine. You learn how to operate the CNC machine in later modules, I think, for your part final. But for operating the lathe, the axle, yeah, stuff like that, you learn in this workshop practice. Then moving on, yeah, make 102. This is drawing and computer aided drafting and design. Okay, so for this module, it's manual drawing, right? It's not computer aided design yet. You are drawing on paper, right? You actually do the card modeling in the upcoming course, I'm sure. Okay, moving on, we have engineering materials. This module was boring, guys. I do not know. It's maybe because I did not like theory, but it was boring. Engineering materials, learn about timber, cement, concrete, slum test, and the what. It was boring, of course, but I'm sure for the civil guys it was interesting. I did not like that much content, guys. So be careful for this course. Moving on, we have electrical principles, right? So for electrical principles, okay, it's still quite the stuff you learned in high school, right? But there are some new concepts which have been added, including Thevenin's theorem, Norton's theorem. Uh, okay, so this would be the first time you actually see electric quantities with angles. You'll be like, huh? How is that possible? Current being chalked off with an angle, current and an angle. Such confusing stuff, but it's an interesting, quite easy. Student communication, I've talked about this one before. So yeah, so UZ has introduced a new system for students to learn foreign languages. So in the first 2 years, learn a foreign language, then in the remaining 2 years, a local language. In my case, I did German. Ja, ich spreche ein bisschen Deutsch. Ich spreche ein bisschen Deutsch. I did Deutsch. Deutsch. Yeah, it's Deutsch. Yeah, quite interesting. So you have to choose between Deutsch and French. And in my case, I chose Deutsch because I like the German engineering. So, yes, guys, so this was the review for the part one courses. Subscribe and wait for the part two. Thank you.